starts to provide some support, much needed support to those who have been so devastatingly impacted throughout the province. To date, we have registered 8,265 households. Just over 20,548 individuals are comprised of those households. Again, that's throughout the entire province. If you haven't yet, we don't want to miss a single household, so please, if you know of someone who has been evacuated from those mandatory zones, please have them reach out to us. They can do so still online at redcross.ca/Atlantic Wildfires, or they can call us 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. at 1-800-863-6582. We cannot provide the support that you may require until you register with us. We also have a number of locations where we are remaining to be activated, and once people are registered, if they need some extra support, if they're having difficulty receiving their electronic funds transfer, if they need to receive it by another means, whether that be by prepaid card or check, we have people in person who can provide that much needed support to you at this time. Our focus currently is to support those with immediate relief on behalf of the province, and we'll continue to do so as long as we are requested to. To date, we have raised $1.7 million for our appeal for those impacted by the wildfires. And that, of course, would not include any of the match announced today. We also commit as a Red Cross to work with the nonprofit sector at large. It's going to take a whole community, to say the least, to help provide support to those who have been impacted. And just prior to this press briefing, in fact, met with members of the nonprofit sector to work together and figure out how can we collaborate to make sure that there are no gaps, or worse, providing more focus on a certain aspect of this operation. We want to make sure that we're providing as comprehensive support to those who have been impacted as possible. And we know the needs are great, and we know they're not short term. So we will continue to, that's our commitment to you as a province and those who have been impacted, to work with everyone to make sure that real cooperative approach has been taken. Thanks, Heather.
Thank you, Bill. And finally, let's check in with our resident warning preparedness meteorologist with Environment and Climate Change Canada, Bob Robichaud. What's the good word on the weather, Bob?
En français, je fais mes commentaires en anglais, mais s'il y a des questions en français, je prends des questions en français. So the weather continues to help us to act in our favor. Today we have that area of low pressure that's stalled offshore, and it's producing some cool, moist northeasterly winds across the entire province, with some rain across most areas. Dave's mentioned the rainfall earlier. Yes, we did get about 90 millimeters in the Shelburne area. A little farther up the coast, we got as much as about 120, and even in excess of 120 in the Kenji area. So certainly a lot of rain. Looking at the western end of Halifax, where we have a couple of different rain gauges. Again, some are a little 50 millimeters, some are slightly below. So again, lots of rain there. We will continue to get rain over the next few hours. There's some heavier rain moving onshore. That will help as well. Into tomorrow, that area of low pressure is going to drift north of Nova Scotia, and that more organized, widespread rain is going to start to kind of peter out and switch to more scattered shower type activity, and that will continue again for a few days after that. Once we get into Thursday and Friday, we should be looking at, again, some scattered showers. However, once we get into the weekend, things are going to, that's going to be pretty much it for the rain for a few days. So that's what we're going to be monitoring going into the weekend and into next week, is the potential for any kind of extended dry period there as well. In terms of air quality, again, all the sensors are indicating fairly good air quality. But we are maintaining those special air quality statements for the time being for Dartmouth and Shelburne County, and we continue to review those. So back to you.
Thanks, Bob. We'll keep the hammering for the next couple of days. We'll now move on to questions from media in the time that we have available. We'll stick with our one question, one follow-up format. And again, if you could indicate your questions for that would be a big help. We'll start with ETB and Heidi's questions. Go ahead, Heidi. Heidi?
Yeah, my follow-up would be to, I guess, Kennedy. We've heard a lot of the water testing kits for wells. Has there been any concerns expressed about municipal water supplies? I note that the pot rock supply for Halifax was in the evacuation area. I don't know what the situation is in Barrington and Shelburne, but I just wondered if there's been any concerns or thought given to those water supplies.
Who's going to take that question?
So I can answer on behalf of HRM, Heather.
Perfect.
So obviously, we work very close with our partners at Halifax Water, and they have a spot in our EOC at all times. And I know they continue to do testing because they were without power, running on generator, and they completed testing right up until and including yesterday. And I know they will continue to do so, and there's been no bad results.
Great, thank you for that. Moving on, we'll go to Global. Megan King, go ahead, Global.
Hi there, thank you. Actually, my questions have been answered, so I appreciate it.
Okay, love it. Moving along, we'll go to the Halifax Examiner, Tim Gay. Go ahead, Tim.
Hi, good afternoon. I have a question. I think it's either for Dave Steves or Erica Flood. It's about Friday night, or rather Sunday night when the fire started and the evacuations were ordered. I can't help but notice that the evacuation zone ended at St. George Boulevard in Kingswood, and that past there are fire hydrants, where in the newer subdivisions to the west there are not fire hydrants. Was that the determining factor in making the evacuation zone?
Yep, I'll take that. No, that had no factor whatsoever. So even if there's no city fire hydrants, we still have dry hydrants that are connected to a local water source. And even if there isn't, we have tankers shuttling water. So that had no effect on the alerts at all, or the evacuation area.
Go ahead with your follow-up, Tim.
Yeah, I guess I'm confused about the dry hydrants. On the city's open data set, I see one dry hydrant in Indigo Shores and one in the Hammond Plains area, and then one in Stillwater, but I don't see any others out there. So could you just elaborate on that?
This is a message from the Canadian National Public Alert System.
Where the dry hydrants are to confirm those locations, and I'm not sure. We continue to update and install new dry hydrants every year, usually 3 and 4 a year throughout HRM. So if you'd like to send a query in through HRM, we'd be happy to follow up with you on that.
Thank you.
Great. I'm going to circle back and check in with Heidi Krotachik at CTV. Heidi, are you back?
Yes, sorry about that. Can you hear me now? Jeez.
Yeah, we can. Go ahead.
Zoom. Just wondering about housing, and I don't know who can field this, but how soon can you have housing available for people who are going to be out for an extended period of time?
Thanks, Heidi. I guess what I'd say is there's that was one of the asks we had of the federal government, was for support with modulars. We're working on modulars. There was already a lot happening in the housing file. I think previous to these disasters here, we talked about maybe securing modulars for healthcare workers. So those kind of supply chains were already being reviewed. So as soon as we can, we'll have that. We understand the urgency. We understand the existing housing crisis that's been here, and this is kind of going to add to that for sure. But it's a big focus. I know Minister Laura and his team are working closely with the municipalities on this to see what we can do, but we understand the urgency.
Heidi, go ahead with your follow-up.
Sure. Just wondering about finances as well. I mean, for some people, they're still waiting for money from their insurers. $500 doesn't go too far if you're talking about 10 to 14 days or more out of your home. How soon can people access other monies?
Yeah, I think they certainly, as we look through this event, there will be some insured aspects and some uninsured aspects. So certainly on the insured aspects, I know that when I was up at the Comfort Center, in Canada Game Center, I definitely saw insurance personnel on site right there, trying to work with people and help them through this. I think the insurance industry across the province is trying to mobilize quickly. So look, if you have insurance, work with your insurance company. That's the best place. That's the best place to be. For those that are uninsured, obviously as a province, we'll try to do what we can. The 500 was an immediate thing that was earlier this week. As we get into the second week, we'll look at the needs, and we'll respond to the needs as best we can.
Okay, moving along, we'll go to Radio Canada with Oceane Doucette. Go ahead, Oceane.
Hi, thank you. Not sure who can answer this question, but I'm wondering for an updated number on the amount of evacuees that have been done in Shelburne County, and how many have been allowed back since the beginning of the evacuations.
I don't have that number to hand. We can get that number from the officials, but I think yesterday, between the evacuation orders that were lifted in Tantau and over the last couple of days in the Shelburne area, I think it was about 11,000 people had their evacuation orders lifted, but there could be a more recent number. But we're happy to work with the folks at EMO and get that number for you.
Thank you.
Oceane, do you have a follow-up?
No, thanks.
Great. Moving along, we'll go to CTV's Lindsay Armstrong. Go ahead, Lindsay.
Thank you very much. A question for Dave Rockwood. I understand aircrafts have been grounded in the Shelburne area due to the weather. Do you anticipate weather will soon allow for the use of aircrafts, or is the firefighting effort shifting away from the use of aircrafts?
So at this time, I don't anticipate the use of the bomber aircrafts anytime soon, or the need. We've had 90 mils of rain in that. But we'll be switching to more of an observation recon tactics with our helicopter fleet and the rental fleet that's in the area. We've been getting great assistance from the local Coast Guard station that's been assisting us greatly with some infrared tactics and others. But we still have boots on the ground for a while now, so we'll be using the aircraft to sling gear into the woods and sling gear out of the woods, and then to also potentially move crews for this very large area.
Lindsay, go ahead with your follow-up.
Thank you. This time for the Premier, following on Heidi's question. Premier, when you're talking about further assistance as needed, I just want to clarify, are you talking about additional funds? Obviously that 500 is for evacuees, including those who've lost homes. Will there be further financial support specifically for those who've lost homes?
I think what we'll do on that is that we want to do what we can to help people for sure. So the first point on those would be the insurance company. People would have insurance on that in most cases, hopefully in all cases. But definitely the insurance company is the first point of contact for people on that. If there are uninsured events, I mean, we'll try to work with the federal government. This would be around the Disaster Financial Assistance Program. We know that when we had Fiona, there were some people who didn't have home insurance for that event, and it was had a devastating financial impact on them. So we tried to work with the federal government around the parameters of that program. It's really important that program that we work within that program. So look, I can't stress enough. Work with your insurance company. Don't hesitate. Get in contact with your insurance company, and the insurance company is the right place for those that have insurance. And for those that don't, I mean, reach out, and we'll try to do what we can within the parameters that we have as well.
Moving along, we'll go to Global's Sky Bryden Blom. Go ahead, Sky.
Thank you. This question's for the Premier. Just taking a look at the Natural Resources Canada map, looking at the wildfire season, it's predicting an above average season here for most of Nova Scotia over the summer. I'm just wondering, what messaging do you have for Nova Scotians about not letting their guards down?
Yeah, I think the above average firefighting season has certainly materialized here in this province, where Scott said it's 210 fires so far this year, and very early in the fire season. The fire season, I think, would extend kind of into almost September, October. So we're very early in the fire season, and we've already had, I think anyway, look at it, twice so far as we would in a normal season, probably more than twice. So I'm hopeful that this has been, kind of educational experience for a lot of Nova Scotians all around the province in the dangers of forest fires, the need to be safe, be smart in the woods. So we have in the province the Check Before You Burn website. People should always be referring to that Check Before You Burn website. It shows the risk in your part of the province, and it's updated every day, I think at 2 o'clock. So I would say be very mindful of forest fires, be very alert to the dangers and how this has been. Look at the devastating impact of these fires, and each one of them in some way, shape, or form, they're also under investigation. But I believe each one of them started by a person. So don't be that person. Be smart in the woods. Be very careful as we move forward through the fire season.
Go ahead with your follow-up, Sky.
I'm also wondering if we could see further bans perhaps happen over the summer if the risk becomes high in terms of going into the woods, crownlands, forests, and that sort of thing in order to mitigate that risk.
Yeah, well, sure, it's entirely possible. The burn ban itself, the Check Before You Burn website, many times during the summer that will have no burning. And that will be, in certain areas, just depending on the conditions, that will be just no burning. That's happening right now. We have a province-wide burn ban as a result of the situation we have. But during the summer, there'll be other times when there's a province-wide burn ban, just because of the conditions in the various areas. That would be common every year. So always, I just always please check the Check Before You Burn website. That's a great resource we have. That's been there for